Welcome to machine learning series. In today's session, we will discuss about k-means algorithm. In case of k-means, we will define the clusters. So this is your data with two features, for example, x1 and x2, and corresponding to these features, we have some data with us. So certain data is this is a scatter plot of the data correspond to feature 1 and feature 2, x1 and x2, and we want to analyze these points, these data points, or we want to categorize these data points into different classes or clusters or groups. So that groups are nothing but clusters. So what we'll do, we will first assume some points as a centroid. We have already discussed the theoretical part of this k-means in our previous session on machine learning, overview of machine learning algorithm. You can visit that session for the more discussion on k-means algorithm. Now we will consider the centroids first, which are initial centroids. Then we will find the distance of each data point from these centroids using Euclidean distance concept, and the data points which are closer to these centroids will fall under that cluster. Now let's suppose these all points are closer to this centroid. I am not accurate here, just for understanding purpose. It's just an assumption. Suppose these points are closer to this centroid, so they will fall under this cluster, and these all points are closer to this centroid. So these all points will fall under this cluster. So like this, we will initially categorize the data, but we are not sure whether these all are categorized properly or not. So for that purpose, we will again take average of all these points and we will find the new centroid. So that centroid may be, it may be somewhere here. By taking the average of all these points, similarly by taking average of all these points, we will find the new centroid, and the average point is suppose here. So this will be the new centroid, and then we will again find the distance of each data point present in the graph from that centroid, and then we will again categorize this into the clusters. So this is the modified cluster, for example. Again, this is the modified cluster. So it is similar to previous one only, but suppose this point is previously in this coming in this cluster. Now it may come under the third cluster, down cluster, like this after the modification. So this may be the case. Similarly, again we will take third iteration. We will take the average of all these points, and we may find the third centroid, which is a modified centroid, and again we'll cluster in the same way that we did previously. So we'll find the more accurate clusters that represents all the points present in that clusters are closer to their centroid. So these blue colored are third iteration, and so on. We will extend this iteration till we get accurate clusters. So this is how we categorize the data into clusters using this approach, which is k-means algorithm. But the problem is how to decide the initial centroid, how many centroid we have to find or we have to consider. So that thing is decided by the concept called elbow method. We have already discussed this concept in the previous session. So, so in short, I'm again briefing you the same thing. So elbow method is nothing but it will give us the graph of WCSS versus K value. WCSS is nothing but within cluster sum of square. So what we'll do, suppose there are 3 clusters initially. So we'll take Pi indicates all the points in this cluster, and similarly this is again Pi, all the points. I represent the values of points from 0 to, suppose there are 10 points, so 0 to 9. So P0 to P9, you have to consider all the points and their clusters. So this is cluster 1, this is cluster 2, and this is cluster 3, and this is Pi of this third cluster. So what we'll do, we'll find the distance between these two, means P1 and C1, similarly P2 and C2. So we'll find the distance of every point in the cluster 1 with its centroid. Similarly, we'll find the distance of every point in the cluster 2 with its centroid, and every point, the difference between the distance between every point in cluster 3 with its centroid. Then we'll take sum of all these values, so summation of distance between Pi and Ci, its square. So that is nothing but WCSS within cluster sum of square. So initially this value will be high. It depends on the value of K. So if you in decrease if you increase the value of K, WCSS will decrease. If you increase the value of K, WCSS will be decreased. That means suppose the number of clusters are only one, there is only one cluster present, then WCSS will be more, because suppose you categorize your data into only a single cluster, only one cluster is there, like this. So see, this is centroid and these are the points. So the distance of these points from that centroid and then its square we have to find out. So this value will be more if you take only one cluster, and if you divide this cluster into multiple clusters, then this WCSS value will be less, because that distance of that points will become less, and therefore its square will also become less. So WCSS value depends on the value of K. So the same thing we will do here. We will consider WCSS versus K. So what we'll plot, we will plot WCSS versus K. On y-axis we'll consider WCSS, on x-axis we'll consider K, and the graph will look like this. So initially the value of WCSS will be more, and then suddenly at some point it will sharply decrease. So that point of will we have to consider this point where the value of your WCSS is suddenly decreases and then it remains constant. So that point is nothing but elbow point, the point where the WCSS value decreases rapidly and then it remains constant, is nothing but elbow point, and the corresponding value of K will be taken as initial number of clusters. Now this value of K will be considered, suppose this is K value, number of clusters are 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this K value will be treated as initial number of clusters. So initial centroids you have to consider are 3 in this case. So some in some data you may get initial value of k as 3, somewhere you may get k as 5, somewhere you may get k as 10 also. So it depends on your data. So initially WCSS will remain more, and then it will decrease depending on the value of k. So here the initial value of k is taken as 3 in this example. In some other example, you may get this k value as 5 also, 10 also, depending on your data. So this is how we find the initial values of cluster or initial number of clusters. How many centroids you have to consider? So depending on k value. So k is nothing but the initial number of clusters. So initial number of clusters or centroids, one and the same thing. So elbow method is used to find the number of initial number of clusters or centroids. Now we'll see our problem in this. We will observe one problem where we can implement this k-means algorithm. So we have one data set. In this data set we have multiple columns and multiple rows. We want to categorize the people of this data. Now this is the data of people. Around 200 rows are there, means the data of 200 people, and it is categorized into customer ID, gender, age, annual income, and spending score. Now we want to categorize this data according to annual income and spending score. So annual income and spending score, this column number 3 and 4, we will consider as the columns of our interest. We want to segment based on these two data, these two information. The customer ID, gender, and age will not consider into our account, just we will consider annual income and spending score. So column number 3 and column number 4, because in Python column the number starts from 0. So 3 and 4 will consider for our categorization. Now we'll see the Python code. Corresponding Python code is as follows. First we have to import the libraries. Three libraries we are using: NumPy, Matplotlib, and Pandas. You all know how to import the libraries. We have already discussed about this in previous sessions, so you may visit the previous lectures on machine learning. There I have already discussed about this, all these things. So initial step is to import the libraries. Three libraries we are using: NumPy, Matplotlib, and Pandas. Then next is the dataset. Importing the dataset, we have to use Pandas library, pd.read_csv. The name of the file is mall underscore customers. Basically it is the analysis of customers. They are buying the things in the mall, and what score they are getting according to their annual income. So we want to analyze this data using k-means algorithm, and we want to categorize the customers using k-means algorithm, so that the the mall owner will notice certain things and will analyze certain things according to this grouping, and then they may modify their products accordingly depending on these clusters obtained, to increase their efficiency, to increase their profit, right? So this is the main aim of this algorithm. So second step is importing the data set. Now third step is what values we are using. So out of, as I told, we are using annual income and spending score, these two columns. So column number 3 and column number 4. So the same thing we are used here, all the rows. So this initial value indicates the rows, and the value after this comma indicates column. So this is the column and this is the row. The first value is row. So all the row, colon indicates all the things, means all the rows, and column number 3 and 4 we are using for our analysis. There is no output since it is the part of unsupervised learning. We are just providing the input. Now The next is from sklearn dot cluster. So this function we are using import k-means. So again it is case sensitive. So k and m capital and rest is the small letters. K-means. Then initially WCSS value is 0 because there is no data present. So we are keeping that value 0. Now we are taking the range of in the this is the range of number of clusters. Initial k means the value of k. So we are considering the value of k from starting value from 1 to 10. So we are considering the k value as 1 to 10. This is the k value starting from 1, 2, 3 up to 10. And this is WCSS. So the same thing we are doing here, the code. So here k means is equal to k means this we are using this object k means. The letters are small, all small letters. This because these two are different. So this is object and this is class k means, and inside this function we are using n clusters. So the value of clusters is nothing but I, which we have used in the loop for loop, because we want to test, we want to check the value or test the value of WCSS for each value of k. So we have applied for loop there. So what is WCSS value for k is equal to 1? What is WCSS value for k is equal to 2, and so on till 10. Then initialize k means plus plus. So this is initialization method, default initialization method, which indicates the number of iterations to define the final clusters when k means algorithm is running. So for that purpose, this k means plus plus is used, and random state to generate the random numbers backend. We are using the numeric value 42. Then, as you know, dot fit command is used for training. So dot fit in bracket capital X, which is your input we are using. So we are training our input using dot fit command with this object k means, and whatever value we are getting, we are appending that value to WCSS. So WCSS will get rapidly change according to the value of k. So all the values will get added in that WCSS, which is earlier empty, using dot inertia underscore. So inertia underscore is related to the values which we are using inside the clusters, that defines the distance between the centroid and the points, corresponding points in that clusters. And then we will plot using PLT. So that PLT is nothing but this matplotlib keyword, PLT dot plot. We will plot the range of k value from 1 to 11 versus WCSS and X level and Y level. So this will run first, and then the next part is again the same part, but here after running this initial part, which is elbow method, we will get the value of k. Now I have already run this code initially, and then I use the next part, because the value which we get in the elbow method, that value we have to use here. So elbow value using this graph, we are getting 5. After that we have to insert that value here. So number of clusters we are taking 5, and the same thing we will run again, because this is now nothing but the iterations. So k means plus plus is used for number of iterations. Number of k means algorithm will run with different initial centroids. So number of times the k-means algorithm will run with different initial centroids. So that is the initialization method we are using, which is default method k dash means plus plus. And then using dot fit underscore predict, we will predict the thing, and we will store it in one variable, which is y underscore k means. So here we are training our model, and here we are testing our model dot fit underscore testing. dot fit underscore predict. And as an input, we are again providing the same thing, x. So this is our training part using dot fit command, and this is our testing part using dot fit underscore predict. And we will store the data into one variable, which is y underscore k-means. And then next is the scatter. So plt dot scatter. This portion is used to plot the our clusters. So initial value is nothing but your cluster number. So the cluster 0, cluster 1, cluster 2, 3, 4. Total 5 clusters, because we have defined the number of clusters as 5, and this 5 value is obtained from the elbow method. So this initial value is nothing but the cluster number, and the second value is 0 is nothing but the first column of data x, that is x coordinates of all the observation points that belong to cluster 1. It represents x coordinates of all the observation points that belong to cluster 1. Similarly here it represents y coordinates, and this here in this case it will represent the y coordinates. Similarly s is nothing but size of that cluster. The color, so default color, this default colors we will use red, blue, green, cyan, magenta. And label we will assign C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. The same thing we will repeat 5 times because we have 5 number of clusters. And finally, to plot the centroids, we are using k-means dot clusters underscore centers underscore 0 and here 1. So this represents all the clusters with their x coordinates, all the clusters with their y coordinates as 1. And size of, we are taking bigger size as compared to the data points. Data points we are taking size as 100, where centroid size we are taking 300. The color and the label. So this is how we can write the Python code for this k-means algorithm. Now we'll run this code. So this is the elbow method graph. As we have already discussed this WCSS and number of clusters. So see here there is a change in the WCSS, but after this point there is that WCSS remaining constant. So that's why we have to consider this point, which is k is equal to 5. So it's the number here is 5. So that's why we have taken the initial number of centroids as 5, and we have decided that the number of clusters should be 5. And then after running this, we have inserted this in the code. So initially we have to run this elbow method code, the upper side, and then the next code, which is of plotting, or the k-means code. So if I close this window, okay, so here is the actual output where you have divided your data into clusters. So this represent cluster 1, cluster 2, green is cluster 3, cluster 4, and cluster 5. So all these 5 clusters with the centroids. And score and annual income, we have used these two features from the data set, the annual income and the score. So the mall owner will analyze the data depending on the annual income and score of the customers, and then he may modify the product, or he may analyze the different things, and then again rebuild the model for further profit analysis or some more analysis purpose. So this is the purpose of k-means clustering. this is how we can implement the code in Python. Now in this machine learning series, the next session will be based on natural language processing, which is NLP, which is very important part of any machine learning model. We can design multiple NLP models. So how to design, what is NLP and how to design models using NLP, we'll see that in the next session. So keep visiting our channel for more videos, and please subscribe the channel if you like the video. Thank you.